Hey everyone, Nimblber here, and yes, the title of this video is not Yes, the title of this video is not clickbait. I've somehow, out of all the people on Earth, I was the one to score a soundtrack for EXOSHOCK. This is very awesome. Well, I guess it's kind of weird for you seeing a Rec Room footage after the Rec Room's closure, but anyway, this is not Radiant, this is still Rec Room. Like, I think I'm gonna go to Radiant, but anyway, this is besides the point. So yeah, I've scored a soundtrack for EXOSHOCK, and I have no clue how that happened. Yeah, I guess this is more of an announcement video, and on top of that, I'll just, I don't know, explain more or less how I got to this position, that I'm very much grateful for. But yeah, it was on a random evening. I was talking to one of my friends, ICQ. You don't know him. Nobody knows. And I used to send him like a lot of my tracks and whatnot, like music related stuff for my future projects, because, you know, I was very passionate at the time about that sort of stuff. And on top of that, I was kind of in a place where I really needed to express my ideas and all that sort of thing, because I mean, that's generally what I live for nowadays. And he basically listened to most of it, and, you know, he always responds eventually. So yeah, he's just a very good listener. And one day he told me, well, that evening that is, he told me that there's this one developer group called Polarity 1 who are working on a Doom-esque VR game. At least that's how he explained the game to me. And I was like, Doom? VR? By an independent developer studio? Damn, sign me! So, you know, I was very much interested in the game just from the description. And when I saw this, yeah, let's just say I was very mind blown. But yeah, I saw the trailer for the game, and ICQ basically told me that, well, they're creating a game and they need a composer for it, because all of the tracks so far have been AI generated. And although they did fit the game overall, they, well, obviously were AI, and the devs really wanted something natural, like something made by a human being. And so, thus, ICQ recommended me to the devs. He was like, hey, I know this guy who makes cool stuff. Would you maybe like to take a look at his work? So, you know, I picked some random stuff from my already existing projects. I sent them to ICQ. He then sent them to Nick, who is the lead developer. Then, you know, while waiting for the response and waiting until Nick responds, or like until the pot is stirred enough for me to join the conversation, in the meantime, I was just simply watching that same trailer over and over again, that animated one, by the way, and I was like making 2 demo tracks that could fit the trailer overall. I was so excited with the possibilities of joining the project that I just couldn't help myself. So in the same evening, I just started, you know, doing stuff. Okay, I don't know if it was the same evening, very late in the evening, when Nick contacted me, or more like I contacted him. Oh wait, no, now I remember. Okay, and then I believe the same evening I sent Nick a message saying like, hey, I'm from ICQ, I'm that guy he was talking about. Are you interested in my work, etc., etc.? I have like made a couple of stuff that could work in the game, and I'd like you to listen to that. And the next day, he basically got straight to the point. Like, he was like, oh yeah, I know you, yada yada, you do music, cool. And then he just gave me all the info I needed on the project. It's like a lore dump, as we call it. But yeah, and after that, I showed him the 2 demo tracks, and he seemed to like them. And he told me basically that if everything goes well, then I will stay in the project, and I will stay as the composer, and I'll, you know, make stuff. And as the time went by, as I made more and more tracks, I didn't get a complete confirmation on if I'm in the project or not, but I did get like a lot of nice messages and replies from people about my tracks, saying like, oh yeah, that's awesome, that's great, that's got potential, yada yada. And, you know, they're very nice to me overall. So that was a very nice surprise, obviously. Yeah, and I honestly was hesitant at first going into this entire project because, again, like, I was doing music as a hobby, and not to mention that I'm a complete, like, as mediocre in terms of skill as you can get with music. So, you know, I'm not a professional music artist, but I do know some things because Octopus on Fire taught me some of it, some of the fundamentals, let's say, and then I just kind of expanded on the topic from that. Yeah, so people ended up liking my music, and that was, well, it was very cool. And so, yeah, time went by further and further. There were lots of updates to the game. I even got free access to the game. I was like in the alpha QA team for some time. Phone shut. And yeah, I was in love with the game since the moment I played it. And that is such a cool feeling, you know? Like, first of all, let me just get it out of the way. This stuff just doesn't happen, okay? This, like, my story simply doesn't happen in the world, yet it happened with me. Being a nobody, being invited to a project of this size and just absolute bomba. Yeah, it was super cool, and not to mention that it became like one of my most favorite VR games, just hands down, ever. Right, also, one thing that I forgot to mention. Don't mind the slight camera change, by the way. I'm recording this right after I recorded the first session, because I forgot a couple of things that I wanted to say. Anyway, I just want to preface how cool Nick is. So I remember I was listening to one of the AI tracks a while back, and I was thinking like, damn, this track in particular just screams EXOSHOCK, you know? And so I was like, what if I just made my own rendition just, you know, to replace this one track? And then, you know, as I was trying to figure out how to basically turn it into my style, more or less, I ran into a couple of issues where, for example, the voice, like female vocal plugin that I had, wasn't really doing the job. Like it sounded female-ish, but it really didn't do the job that I wanted it to do, because it was free anyway. But yeah, that particular track had female vocals in it, and, you know, overall, the whole, like, vibe of the track was pretty on point with the entire, like, world of EXOSHOCK, let's say. So I talked to Nick a bit about the track and, like, what I want to do with it. He listened to me. He said, like, yep, that should be very cool. And he, you know, gave me green light to work on this sort of, like, main theme for EXOSHOCK. So I started first with recreating, literally note by note, that exact track. And, you know, it turned out decent, like, as in recreation, that is. And then I just, you know, started making my own sort of shebang with it. But yeah, as I was working on it, again, I ran into the same issue with the vocals, the female vocals. They weren't quite there, you know? And so I told Nick, like, hey, I found this very cool plugin. I'm gonna, like, buy it once I have money or funds for it. That means that I will have to, you know, wait with the track for a little bit. While I wait, I'll work on some other stuff. And then, out of the blue, he's like, hey, do you have contact library? Like, because he read the description of the plugin, and it says that it needs a Contact 7 library. Or a player, I guess. I don't know how they're called, really. But yeah, basically he asked if I have that, and I said, yeah, I do. What about it? Like, you know, I can get it later. And then suddenly, he just sends me the entire purchase email with the key to the plugin. The plugin is $120! So he just simply bought the damn thing. I didn't even ask him to do that. He did that anyway. And I was like, I mean, deadass. You can probably tell, I was freaked out. I was beyond happy. Because not only is this plugin very, very good, but also, you know, it's mine now. I can use it in whatever else I want to. But yeah, he basically told me that this money just goes into, like, the project itself, essentially. Not, like, in my own expense. Or at least that's how I interpreted it. He's not very talkative. But yeah, he gave me the plugin just like that as a gift. Essentially. That was just mind-blowing. Like, how? $120 gone. Just like that. For the sake of one EXOSHOCK track. Can you bloody believe it? But yeah, this was awesome. Also, I wanna, obviously, thank ICQ for pushing me to, well, talk to Nick in the first place. As well as I want to thank my friend Octopus on Fire for basically also supporting me all the way through, like telling me, like, hey, congratulations and all that stuff. Thanks to Octo for teaching me all this stuff to begin with. And again, thanks to ICQ for pushing me to work on this project all these great people. In fact, at first, when I went into this entire project, obviously because I'm a nobody, in the grand scheme of things, I basically said, hey, let me just work on the game's soundtrack for free. I can do 20 tracks for free. There you go. And then Nick was like, no, don't worry, we will pay you. I was like, damn, I get to make music for a video game and I get paid. So yeah, and yeah, obviously Octo also told me, I should, do this stuff for free because, well, for the same reasons, and I guess I did the correct decision when I said that. But yeah, after Nick told me that he will make sure that I get paid, Octo was like, okay, well, don't turn this down now. Don't back up from this offer. So just take it and shut up. And yeah, again, with the plugin that I was gifted, that is just beyond awesome. But of course, also, Nick did also tell me to let him know if there are any other plugins that are absolutely required for the EXOSHOCK soundtrack that are like below like $200 threshold. Then I could always contact him and tell him like, hey, I need that thing right now. But I didn't do that out of respect. But yeah, out of respect, I've only shown him one more cello VST and one more viola VST. I believe it's viola. And I've asked him like, hey, which one sounds better in this context? And he was like, yep, definitely cello sounds better. So I just bought cello myself. It was also at around $120 if I remember correctly. Just out of respect, I didn't want to, keep on asking about any other plugins because obviously it'll just bring my reputation down, which is not nice. Now that I think about it, Nick is probably going to watch this video, so I'm sorry in advance. But yeah, anyway, back to the previous me. There's been a lot of memes made throughout the days, and I've, have shown more and more tracks to Nick. He liked them. I also talked to Shepard, the artist guy behind the game. By the way, the game is only made out of 2 people. What? The game is only made by 2 people, which is the technical artist and the environmental artist, or just artist in general. So yeah, Nick and Shepard, which is awesome. And then I'm just, kind of in the background doing tunes and stuff. Also, just realized this OB music kept playing the entire time. So yeah, anyway, I think I'm going on a bit of a ramble because, well, I obviously don't have a script for this. I'm just kind of going on a whim. Yeah, it's been very awesome so far working with these guys and with the publishers as well, because like the whole game wouldn't have existed if a couple people weren't just strongly advocating for this specific project, which was going on for a while, mind you. It's not even that well known at the beginning. Like, there was a side quest build which then slowly turned into an alpha build for standalone stuff, yeah, basically. And throughout the years, up until the side quest alpha, and now it is currently out in Founders Edition. Well, I mean, at the time of recording, that is. Yeah, I am very much pleased with how things have turned out so far. Like, I could not have asked for anything better or anything more. So yeah, just a big thank you to Nick and Shepard for allowing me to participate in this awesome project, and to the publishers as well for allowing them to allow me to participate in the project. And yeah, it's been life-changing in a way, and I believe with this one project a lot of doors have already opened. Like, they've at least appeared. Now there's just the matter of opening them. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's been super awesome, and with like all the new cool people that I've met in that server, the most active ones. We've even played games and everything, like we had these events. And also, one cool thing, even in the middle of working on the EXOSHOCK soundtrack, I've been contacted by Wimtar, who is the lead developer behind Haymaker VR, about my music. That was sick as well, because like, I haven't even finished working on EXOSHOCK, and then suddenly, hey, do you want to work on this as well? And of course, like, damn! Yeah, at the time of recording, I'm slowly but surely trying to figure out the core, like, musical style of Haymaker VR, or like what Wimtar wants. While with EXOSHOCK, I'm currently about more than halfway through the minimal mark of the tracks needed for the game, the combat ones, and then some extras. And then I also need to make just a couple more for the whole package, and then maybe some extra. I don't know, it depends on how they want it, basically. And one more cool thing is that Nick fully and completely gave the composing roles or rights to me, like fully. So, you know, from decisions to the tracks themselves and how they're like set up, I guess, like how they sound. Yeah, he left it completely up to me. And so far, he has been saying with every single track that it's got potential. And, you know, that is already a good sign. And with most of the tracks that I've shown him, that have already made it to the game, with just a couple, you know, like drafts or demos just kind of left under the rug, currently it's looking good. So I don't know what else to say. It's awesome. Like I get to do music for a video game. How awesome is that? And not only that, it's the sort of music that I quote-unquote specialize in, right? So like it's the sort of music that I personally like. So like it's very driving, combat-y, like very violent sort of electro style music, you know? Like you would, I don't know, hear in Doom, for example. Like this argent metal-ish soundtrack combined with just some dark techno or hard techno like influence, I guess. Speaking of influence, I guess Bone Lamp and Boneworks were also part of the influence, because Michael Wyckoff, Wyckoff, he's a magician when it comes to music. So yeah, but yeah, again, this sort of violent music is my thing, personally. So that's why I was very, very excited to, and well, obviously still am, making soundtrack for the game. But yeah, I guess right now I'll go back to working on the soundtrack, and the game should come out in like 2-ish months from here. Yeah, something like that. But yeah, but last but not least is I want to thank God, or well, Jesus, for this awesome opportunity, because I want to come back to that statement that I made first. This sort of stuff just doesn't happen, right? Are we getting this straight? This stuff just doesn't happen. And the fact that, you know, I've been trying to, you know, focus on Christianity for a while now. I've been, you know, reading the Bible. I've been watching some Christian videos on YouTube, not like the Catholic-ish sort of content, but more like Eastern Orthodox, if you know what I mean. You know, the sort of knowledge that gives you benefit in your daily lives, basically. But yeah, I've been, you know, focusing on that a lot, and then suddenly this awesome opportunity that I could never have dreamed of suddenly appears, and it's like so far it's been going great with all, like, with just teensy tiny little downfalls and like changes in mood and etc., and maybe some difficulties that I've had to face here and there, which are, again, they're very minor. Just the fact itself that I've been working on this project is mind-blowing, and well, it only makes sense to thank God for this sort of opportunity. So yeah, there's that. I'm guessing since you're watching this video, the entire track is already public on my YouTube channel, so if you want to check it out, then you can go ahead and do that. Also, go play the game for yourself if you want to. It's what, like $20 maybe? I don't really know the price by this point, but it's somewhere around $20, I think. I know that the game is going to be like dirt cheap upon release, which it probably is. So yeah, just go ahead and buy the game, play with your friends because it's multiplayer, and listen to my awesome soundtrack. Hey guys, it's the Nimble Perfumey Future again. Look, so this is EXOSHOCK, right? And it literally, as we speak, just released multiplayer for everyone. So that part where I was talking about, you know, multiplayer being out at some point in the future, it is literally this day, right? So you can go ahead and play with your friends right now. And just in case you get confused, first of all, quick join is simply a button that allows you to not only join a random match, but in case there is no available match, you can create your own, and that will be public. Anybody will be able to join that. But otherwise, you can obviously search for matches. There's nobody currently online because it's a fresh start for the game. But otherwise, if you want to play with your friends, you can always create your own like lobby with the code. And although this current system is a bit weird, it will be changed later. But how it currently works is that you create the match, enter the code, press start match, and then your friend has to insert the same exact code and start a new match as well. So basically both of you have to create a room with the same code. That's basically how it works. I don't know why it is what it is. It will be changed later, so no worries about that. But anyway, yeah, you can now finally play with your friends. And this is an awesome game to play with your friends as well, because, well, it's just flipping awesome, right? Probably the best review that the game has received so far is that the gunplay is very good, right? The guns feel great. They're very punchy. They're somewhat physics-based, kind of, as in, like, okay, if you shoot this light machine gun with just one hand, you can see how it begins to sway. I'm not moving my hand, by the way. See, it begins to kind of go up and sway its shots around, which is pretty cool. It's a level of detail that I haven't seen in any other VR game yet. But yeah, and obviously there's a bunch of different weapons you can try out. For example, this is the punchiest of them all, which is a prototype of a DMR weapon. Absolute beast, as you can see. And not only that, there are also different suit modes that you can try out. Some of them decrease certain characteristics of your, well, loadout or your character, while some increase, and depending on the suit modes that you have, the payout will be also different from different missions. And speaking of missions, here they are. You can do different contracts, one being the easiest, number 6 being the hardest, and everything in between is like just all the random information, like the ship type, right, -401, or ballista, alpha breaker, or whatever. Different complications such as faction warfare, reinforced inbound, automated defenses, droid horde even, that's a pretty cool one, and many more. And by the way, yeah, this is one of the tracks playing currently that you can hear. Yep. So it feels super awesome to have this opportunity where you can make cool music for a very cool game. Right, so because again, I cannot stress this enough, this game is very cool. You should definitely try out some, I don't know, just very easy missions to kind of get a feel for the game first. Obviously you can then go to your settings and change different things that you don't like or you don't want. For example, the view shake, or like the shake of the camera, and the flashing, and etc. But yeah, currently you can get the game. The price is updated, by the way, because it's still Founders Edition. You can get the game at $15 or so through their official site, and I'll leave the link to that in the description below. And from the time of recording, they should release the game to early access very soon, right? And once it goes to early access, it should be around $20, like I said before. And from that point on, it will be in like official stores and everything, but currently it is only available through their official website. Go ahead and pick up the game, play with your friends. It is very awesome. Multiplayer just came out, so it'll be very nice if you people decide to buy the game and try out the multiplayer for yourselves, and obviously leave some feedback in their Discord. It would be very much helpful for Nick and everyone else involved to help the game grow. But yeah, back to past me again. See you. But yeah, it's been super cool, and so thank you to Nick and Shepard yet again for well, giving me this awesome opportunity. I could not have imagined anything like this in my life. So again, thank you very much, and hats off to you. So yeah, just go play EXOSHOCK with your friends. I believe you can have up to 4 people in one lobby. Yeah, just go ham, shoot some bad guys, you know, smack some booty. What? Otherwise, yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and have a good day. See you later.